What's going on, guys? No, just checking in. Week 11 of the summer shred. 2 weeks ago, my mood crashed. Last week, I told you about it. This week has sort of been more of the same, but we did have a couple silver lining moments, and I definitely made some big changes that I'm excited to share with you because hopefully something is going to give and my mood's going to even out soon. Let's go ahead and get on the scale first. Last week we weighed in at 213 flat. Let's see if I was able to maintain that trend of weight loss this week despite still feeling pretty poopy. So as you guys can see, I lost another pound. We are down to 212. I'm definitely happy about that. I should continue to use MyFitnessPal this week just to keep track of exactly what my macronutrients were, and all was well that went well. I want to talk about my mood this week. Like I said last week, I told you I was doing really poorly, and this week was much of the same. There's still a lot of depression, a lot of obsessive thoughts in general. Something I'm trying to address, a pattern in my brain that I'm struggling to break, which is just to repeat the same things over and over and over again, to the point where I start to feel depersonalized, where I get this pressurized feeling in my head, and it's really, really uncomfortable. I had a few mornings where it was genuinely hard to get out of bed, but I did anyway, and I stuck to my routine and structure anyway. I went to work, I went to the gym, I went to meet with my sponsor, and I went to my 12-step meeting, so I did everything the same. But one thing I wanted to talk about in terms of mood, for me, when this sort of thing happens, as discouraging as it is, people ask me, what do you do to find the motivation to continue to do the things you have to do? And I think it's really important to note that you leave motivation out of it. For someone that deals with mood disorders like I do, like a lot of us do, you shouldn't be relying on motivation to maintain the structure and follow through with the things you have in front of you, because you will very often not feel motivated, much like I did this last week and the week before. It's really nice to feel motivated, but it's more important to understand that your feet need to take you where your brain doesn't want to go anyway. So that is something I keep in mind. I treat it like eating, sleeping, and breathing. I just don't have a choice because I understand how it's going to impact me long term. So that's really my only thought on that. And I've been getting that question a lot because I don't have any motivation these last couple of weeks, and I felt hopeless and down, and I've had suicidal thoughts, and it's been rough. But I continue to do the same things anyway because I want to control what I can. Understanding where you're powerless, where you're not, it's been really tough. But I did have a few moments this week that were a little bit better. Yesterday was my most encouraging day that I've had in the last 2 weeks. I found myself less hopeless, a little more clear-headed, and I was able to keep the spinning thoughts slightly under control, although I lost control of them for a while, using mindfulness practices to the best of my ability. And we're going to keep pushing through this downturn in mood. If I didn't know any better, I would say this is clinical depression. But it's only been a couple weeks, and I want to not overreact. Just keep pushing away. So let's talk about my diet. This was a really good week for my diet because I was able to implement some new things. I got some new information, and I feel more willing to put into place a little bit more of a strict diet. So I've been sticking to lean meats, seed nuts, fruits, veggies, complex carbs, no gluten, no added sugar, mostly. And I think I finally realized that it was time to be perfect, be flawless when it came to the gluten, when it came to the added sugar, and more importantly, when it came to getting in enough vegetables. I think I've long since underestimated the power of dark leafy greens and getting enough quantity of the right supplements, the right vegetables. So I watched an amazing TED Talk called Minding Your Mitochondria by Dr. Terry Wells, but she reversed this degenerative condition she was going through, and she did it all through diet and proper supplementation. So I'm going to put a link in the description below. It's an amazing TED Talk. I think everybody should check it out. It's strict, it's thorough, it's a big commitment, but the big part of it that I was able to implement this week was that I had to do 3 heaping plates of vegetables every single day. And I have done that this week, and it's taken some getting used to, but I was really proud of myself for making that happen. And if this can eliminate even some of my mood swings or some of these crashes that I don't fully understand, then it's going to be worth it to me. So I'm committed to this, and I'm going to take it one day at a time. I'm willing to do anything to get to a more even state of mind, and I can control my diet like I always say. So I've been doing so good for these last 10 weeks. Let's take it up another notch. Exercise has been more of the same. I had a couple days, where I felt really glad to be working out, and other days where I felt like I weighed 1,000,000 pounds, and I couldn't believe I was there. But I was there anyway. When it comes to being depressed, when it comes to being anxious, you fucking show up. You show up for the sake of showing up to whatever it is you have to do to possibly help you get better. And that's what exercise is for me. That's what I'll continue to say and preach. That's what I will continue to do. My actions will speak for themselves. I show up. And we did a lot of hard training this week, and we did a lot of fun training. And a couple of days I felt okay, and a couple of days I felt horrible. But I was there anyway, like I said. And I'm slowly starting to get better at this CrossFit thing, so that's always nice. and I just sure do appreciate the group energy and the community feeling. It helps get me out of myself, and I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep trying, and I'm going to keep sharing. And let me know if you guys want to see more workout footage. I'll try to figure out a way to get that going for you too. But otherwise, I hope that a little bit of this footage here is at least giving you an insight as to what I'm doing every single day at 6 a.m. Alright guys, well that about wraps it up for week 11 of the summer shred. We're just going to continue to do the same things that we've been doing. I'm going to continue to trust the process, and I'm going to ignore these dark feelings, and I'm not going to take them personal to the best of my ability. I know that the true me is happy, joyous, and free, and I know that since I had my breakdown in 2011, I've been more vulnerable to these harsh mood swings after first coming out of the first long-standing clinical depression and anxiety. So this is just part of it, you know, it just is. And I'm really glad I can just be vulnerable and be honest. As you guys can see, I'm a little more soft-spoken, I'm a little more withdrawn. I try to be animated when I feel well, but I'm really glad that I can just be fucked up and broken and share all the same. I think that's really special. It's no joke trying to be a functional member of society with someone who has a deep history of mood disorders, but we're out here trying anyway. We're trying to make a difference, we're trying to help each other, and that's fucking amazing, because it's incredible what we can accomplish in the midst of not feeling well. So I'll continue to do my best to put out content while I'm in this little slip, and I will continue to just keep fighting and trying and learning. And I'm really going to focus on my diet this next week. Really focus on the 3 heaping giant plates of dark cruciferous vegetables. I'm going to look for the positive moments this week, and I'm going to stay brave through the dark ones. And I look forward to being out of the slump. We'll see you guys in the next video. Big No-No out.